How would you imagine paradise? Would it be beautiful sunsets with amazing atmosphere, or beautiful motorcycles, especially some proper vintage bikes, or a place with amazing European architecture? For me personally, it would be glassy waves to surf. If a place would have all those things, with all that, a vibrant and alive culture with plenty of people to meet would just be a cherry on top. Paradise is not real, but the place I'm describing is. Let me show it to you in today's episode.
We are getting going now here in Mimizan. My infection is doing better and we will be making our way today to the Côte de Basque, or the Basquian coast on the border of France and Spain. And we will have a look in particular at Biarritz. And Biarritz is kind of the capital of cafe racer and retro motorcycles and surfing. So like if you are there are so many of those things. So I think it's a spot that we definitely should check out. So we will make our way today here from Mimizan all the way to Biarritz in the Basque country. First of all, I've been doing better. The infection in my arm is going away slowly. I still need to take the antibiotics every day. And the antibiotics really mess with my inner systems. Like my stomach is just not feeling good at all, and I feel weak, but I will be doing better, and my infection is slowly doing better. So the swelling already has gone down. It's not that red anymore. I'm really happy about that. Yeah, the surf here the last few days in Mimizan, it was just so wild, the water all the time, and then when it was calm, there were so many people in it. Like, that's something about surfing. Often it just doesn't really work out how you want it to, and that kind of happened the last few days quite a lot. But we still managed to get the one or other ride, and we are kind of running out of time because I still want to make my way all the way to Portugal. So we will now definitely have to get going, because I was a bit slow the last few days because I was just not feeling all that great, to be honest. I felt some level of burnout with making the videos, because this is now my third video series this year, and I kind of tried to make as much happen as possible this year, and it is a bit much for me, I found out. But I will finish this trip and will continue on my way. I was really struggling with thoughts of giving up and so on, but I'm not doing that. I will finish this trip, and with that, let's make our way to the Basque country. So we now made it through this little hell that can be traffic in Basque country, because there's a lot of city-like structure with a lot of roundabouts, traffic, stop lights and so on. But we now finally made it here. I think Biarritz is a really beautiful city, and kind of a little secret tip, like you don't hear that much about Biarritz, but I think it's one of the highlights in France actually. My plan is to explore a little bit what Biarritz has to offer, and then continue our way across the Spanish border, because Biarritz has a lot to offer that we can look at. It has many beautiful buildings. Socially, there's a lot going on here. It has a little castle, and it's kind of a fancy place. Like, I can already see a Ferrari, I think Superfast 800 something is that behind me. It's kind of the place for the rich and wealthy a bit here. I think it's super cool here. Like, I would love to live here, because there's also quite a cool surf beach, even though that is always really, really crowded. And of course, there are also many motorcycles here. Like somehow many like modern classics and custom built motorcycle kind of are present here. I don't know how that comes. We with Bodhi kind of fit in here perfectly. Also, it's kind of a perfect city to drive around on a motorcycle, because parking is such an enormous pain in the ass here. Like I've been here before with a car, and that's just so absolutely not fun. Like there are roundabouts where you have to reverse in because the amount of steering angle is just not enough. But right now it's not even that busy. So let's find a place to stay and then explore. Also, we really need to get some chain oil and some surf wax here, because my surf wax kind of melted off while in the bag. And here you can already see the kind of motorcycles you have here a lot. Kind of already running into the first little problem. Biarritz is an absolute fucking nightmare to navigate. Currently trying to get to this little cheap hotel, and oh my fucking god, is that annoying often. Also, it's not enough that everything here is just really tight and not a lot of room. It's also all very steep. And here we see the Côte de Basque. How beautiful. You can even see the Pyrenees in the distance, and that is already Spain. Today is a clear day, like you can see a lot today. Let's park the motorcycle over here. So let's reverse into this, because I already know that there's no way in pulling the motorcycle out of this one. It's in general quite good travel tip. If you see a really inclined road, you need to park in a way that you can like back out with the motorcycle again, because it's really easy to underestimate how shitty it can be to then have to lift the motorcycle out of there again. Let's make our way there on foot. I mean, I can leave that like this here. I've locked the surfboard to the bike. I mean, if someone truly wants it, it will not stop them, but at least, so let's go. For any questions or information, please contact reception desk at the Hotel Marbella. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. J'ai réservé une chambre sur booking.com. C'est pour les hôtels à l'Alisier, à côté de cet hôtel.
Oui, 2 petites minutes et j'arrive.
Ok, pas de problème.
Mario!
Yeah.
It's room number 44 on the first floor.
So this is not a fifth set of stairs. That's a wild interpretation of first floor. But yeah. Okay. It was the fifth floor instead of the first. But that's all good. Maybe we'll have a great view. Let's have a look. No, we don't. So let's get the essentials and explore the city and make our way to the beach. So, let's make our way to the beach. Of course, right now my internet stopped working and my offline map started working at the same time. So we kind of have to rely on my good memory of this town. Well, not that good memory, it has to be good now. But we're going to the beach, and that can be quite a parking nightmare, but let's see. So let's have a look. Not much going on surf waves wise anymore here. Kind of curious if maybe a little bit over there is still a chance. So let's make our way over there in hopes of maybe some better luck. Let's cruise around and see if we can find another spot, but we can remember there's a bike parking spot in case we try again tomorrow. Oh, I remember this. I remember. We check out something. Yeah, and over here, this is my usual wild camp spot for here. When I was here with a friend, I wild camped here. We're not doing this now, because it's just with the motorcycle logistics wise too much of a pain in the ass. Ooh. And a left behind Honda. Is that a VT? No, I don't think so. But yeah, there's so many like old vintage bikes and cafe racer bikes here. It has gotten a lot less with the different parking laws, but you can see like even stuff like this is here left behind. How the bike looks, it must have been standing here for years. I'm wondering if it's still possible to build it up again. I so badly want to do something like that one day. And it was just great having a look at all the other authentic vintage bikes in Biarritz and new retro classics. Apart from beautiful motorcycles, there's a lot to see in Biarritz. Biarritz as a town really feels like the location of a James Bond movie. There's a lot to see. Like for example this gorgeous cemetery in the middle of the sea. Also Biarritz can astound with its surf culture and beautiful architecture. So I now watched the sunset here in Biarritz and it was really beautiful, and also that you could like see the Pyrenees over there. It was just really incredible. Sadly we didn't catch any waves today, but let's try that tomorrow. My plan now for the evening is to get some food. I still have wet hair from showering, and then going out to a bar and see if I can meet some people. Right now we are going to make our way to the Côte de Basque beach. It looks today like there are way better conditions for longboards, but we will have to do with what we have. And there we have this beautiful little castle on the top of the beach. It's probably the most crowded lineup I've seen on this whole trip. So probably every kind of respect for priority goes out the window completely. Also mostly longboards. But we're going to try our best, you know? That's what it's about. And the thing is, if it's people who kind of can get along with each other, which I would guess, because this is, I think, a spot where there are so many beginners, and no place for my motorcycle. Well, I think we just see ourselves as a bicycle now, and then it's all good. Well, that doesn't fit. Maybe there's some chance as soon as I have the surfboard off. We just somehow have to squeeze in here without making a dent in my beautiful... Fuck! The exhaust is fucking hot. So let's pull my leg out first. Well, we made it without touching any of the bars. That's good.
So let's get the bike out there somehow without damaging it, because this is a very tiny gap. Then put the surfboard back in there. Okay, that was super tight. Let's not bang it into any other motorcycles. And let's go. People even ride their motorcycles here in neoprene suits. But as you have seen, there are even some people who ride their motorcycles in their wetsuit, like the guy on the BMW R9T. I would not have done that with that bike here, because I would be too scared of rust from the salt water. The thought was already there a few times to do that. Yeah, but the surf today was good. It was, I think, 3 feet, and it was super, super crowded, but it was still fun, and it was kind of what I needed, you know, because it was surfing without fear and just relaxing, basically. And that was just so good, even though all surf etiquette just kind of went completely out of the window. Yeah, there you see the guy in the wetsuit. And I mean, you can definitely tell Biarritz is kind of the town of neo-retro bikes and neo-retro helmets. As you can see here, some Chinese kind of scrambler and a BMW. It's a really special place here in Biarritz. It's kind of wild, but I love it. It's so good. I really wish I could just live here. Yeah, the surf was really good. I really enjoyed it. Even though constantly people were dropping in on me, it was kind of annoying to some degree. Like also when people were clearly seeing I have that wave already, and then, or like I'm fine if people drop in on me and then go into the same direction and I can still surf. And I mean, on a crowded day it is like this, you know. But like if you then go into the broken wave, I'm just like, yeah, well, fuck off, I guess. But it was never so bad that I had to say something. Like only once, when like this guy so clearly saw I already had the wave and he already dropped in on me like 3 times, and every time he dropped in on me, just hit me with the "oh, pardon," and then just did it again, you know. What I said earlier, the surf was really good, and it was like really relaxed, and that's sometimes so nice, you know. Like especially kind of all the surf looks small on the GoPro. No matter if it's like waves where you just absolutely are scared, or if it's small waves, it all kind of looks the same in the end, often on GoPro. But it was just really nice for me, because I have been scared in between the last 3 days with the Hurricane Nigel and with the super strong currents and being constantly completely alone. So this was now for a change quite nice. So we are now getting going here again in Biarritz, and now continuing our way through the Basque country all the way into Spain. But first, as I already said before, we need to pick up some chain lube so that the motorcycle continues to run smoothly. One last look at the waves. Overall, I really enjoyed my time in Biarritz. It's such a fun place. It's so nice. You also meet so many nice people. Like I went out on that one evening and I met some nice other Germans who were also there on vacation. They were really nice to speak to, but at the same time it also kind of has a little bit much of a party crowd. Like especially with the younger people, a lot of alcohol, a lot of weed. Like those things don't really, I don't know, not really my thing. Also because this whole surfing culture is really central to Biarritz. You have like then with all the young people that are into then beer and weed, basically you have those weird social dynamics that can kind of be annoying. Like it becomes really quickly obvious, like if you go there just to meet some people as a young guy, you very quickly realize that the other guys are kind of behaving weirdly towards you, because they're basically only there to get laid and instantly see you as some kind of competition, and then they behave in this super pretentious, weird way that's just very uncomfortable for me. And that absolutely just makes my skin crawl sometimes. But apart from that, it was really, really good. Also, those guys talk such a big amount of shit, you know? Like, I love surfing, you know? It's really nice, and I'm definitely not the best, but I would say I'm doing quite decent for someone who doesn't live close by the sea. Then you have those conversations about surfing all the time, and then they did a surf course in the morning, and then they like talk about every single stroke they made while paddling in this very weird way. And it's most of the time to kind of, this talk is to show off in front of girls, you can so clearly tell. But overall, I have to say Biarritz is a really nice place. It's so cool with all the little restaurants, and there's so much to see, and you can see it's a place that's very alive. And I wish I could live here, but I cannot afford it. Basically, and need to rely on my job at home. I earlier didn't want to shit on people who are into surfing. It's just this way of communicating. Like, I ride motorcycles quite a lot, and I make a motorcycle trip, and every time I meet people that are also on bikes, it's always a really pleasant and nice conversation, just exchanging experiences, and it's like most of the time really nice and positive. But with surfing, on the other hand, it's always so weird. It's always this little bit of a show off, and like everyone is talking about their like van builds and whatever, and it's kind of this constant one-upping each other, and it's very rare that you meet people that you can have a decent conversation about surfing. Yeah, I don't know. And that was something that I definitely noticed in the bars of Biarritz as well. That being the communication around surfing, that is so unexpected, because everyone always expects it to be such a chill sport. But when it comes to the people who are really good at it and who are like way better than me and so on, they often seem very unrelaxed and unapproachable and very gatekeepy. And all the people that are really at the beginning, they are nice in the water, in the sense of most of the time if they like drop in on you, you can just tell them like, yo, don't do that, and they will be like, oh yeah, fine, I didn't know. But like the conversation after is just fucking atrocious most of the time. And I don't know why that is, because that's a thing that's kind of unique to surfing. Like, skateboarding is kind of fine with the conversations about it. Snowboarding as well, there's just a occasional weird thing with skiers then, but like, surfing it's kind of a thing of its own in its weird communication ways. So, let's make our way to get the oil for the chain. So with the freshly lubed chain, let's make our way to Spain.
So my goal that I wanted to reach for the end of the day was Zatraust, a good surf spot I know in Spain. So I made my way across this bridge, and the river underneath it is the Spanish border basically. And made the last few kilometers all the way to Zatraust. If you like what I do here on YouTube, I would gladly appreciate if you would subscribe. I try to reach 7,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and maybe we can make that happen. In general, feel free to share my videos with your friends and family. I hope they get more views at some point. And I've also put the link to my Patreon and my other socials down in the description. See you soon.